Prior to the Civil War, Florida was discovered as a land of opportunity. Cotton prices were at an all-time high, land was plentiful, and labor was cheap. Gainesville was a small town of 300 residents at the center of a thriving agricultural area. It was beginning to prosper with a new courthouse, 2 general stores, wooden sidewalks, and churches. Prosperity attracted new settlers who arrived on Florida's first form of mass transportation. Trains opened the interior of Florida for settlement and gave farmers easy access to ports on the Atlantic and Gulf Coast. This new frontier of rich land and opportunity enticed Phillip Benjamin Harvey Dudley, a plantation employee and cattleman from South Carolina. He purchased the first 360 acres of Dudley Farm in 1859 and developed a successful cotton and cattle farm. Through the years, the farm became a neighborhood community center with a local store, cane grinding complex, and livestock dipping vat. The Dudley family continued their legacy through 3 generations on the farm. Reluctant to modernize, they continued farming and watched their world transition from pre-mechanization to high-tech. The first family home site at Dudley Farm was a small, double-pen, dog-trot log cabin for Mr. Dudley, his wife Mary Magdalene, and 3 children.
When my grandfather first come here, he had the slaves, and he grew cotton for the government and shipped it back to England.
As was the custom of the time in 1860, enslaved African Americans worked the fields at Dudley Farm. P.B.H. Dudley brought many of the workers from South Carolina to the new southern frontier. Like many of his neighbors, P.B.H. Dudley supported secession and joined the Confederate cause as a captain in 1861. In a letter home, he shared,
"We heard the Yankee guns yesterday morning. They were on the St. Johns River. They discharged their guns in the morning. This is a desolate-looking country. There are but few people living down here."
As he would be known the remainder of his life, Captain Dudley fought across the South until the end of the war in 1865. After the war, Southern land was devalued by 40%. African Americans were freed from enslavement, and cotton was no longer king. Many of the African American workers remained at Dudley Farm as hired hands and tenant farmers. They continued to do most of the hard labor on the farm and the housework. Over the years, Becky Perkins became a trusted friend and the beloved nanny to P.B.H. Dudley Jr.'s 12 children, who called her Aunt Becky. By the 1870s, the Dudleys were totally self-sufficient. They grew grains, field crops, fruit, and nut trees. Florida scrub cattle, hogs, sheep, and turkeys grazed the open range. Captain Dudley gained the status of a planter. He was successful, respected, and well known in the community. To improve access to the railroad, Captain Dudley and his only surviving son, P.B.H. Jr., known as Ben, cut a 12-mile road from the farm to Gainesville. As the main travel route, many cow hunters and cattle drives used the farm as a rest and water stop. The farm became known simply as Dudley. After a marriage of 48 years, Mary Dudley died in 1880 at the age of 63. The old captain passed away a year later.
this trail and circle through the farm. Give you a little pan back when we get up here what we just came through. We just come out of that house. We're gonna make the loop and we'll come back and look at the rest of it. Nice little shaded trail.
I guess there's trails over there too.
Bench you can take a break at. What we just came out of was actually the visitor center. I guess now we're getting more into the farm. See the old pasture here. A few cows out on the range. We're headed over to those structures, which is I guess the actual working farm. See the old wooden fence over there. Step back in time to the 1800s, early 1900s. Old head chute in the cattle pen. A wooden head chute. Look at that. Lock their head in it so that you can either castrate them or put your wormer on them, whatever you might need to do. I think this is a tobacco barn where you cure tobacco. Let's get up a little closer and see what we're looking at here.
Does it look like that?
Yep.
Tobacco looks rotten.
See the old
What people shoot? What is that?
see the hanging sticks throughout the roof. If you ever wondered what a tobacco barn looked like, that is neat, a rail fence. See the old cane grinder over in the distance. Grapevine arbor. This is really cool. You usually see just sections of an old homestead.
Oh, is that a big old
That is very beautiful. The size of that tree. Little house.
Oh, they should go in.
Back when lawns were purposeful. Garden, butterflies.
There's my yard like this. Oh, so much stuff. Look at the butterflies.
Go over here and see what Miss Traveler's doing. Lots of little butterflies all over. Let's go up here and check out the old house.
Tree.
Remember, there would have been no indoor no plumbing, so they brought any water they'd have had in from outside of wash pods and no sewing machine. We can't see the upstairs. I guess this would have been like the living room or the parlor. Piano. Life is definitely simpler. No record player. Hang on.
Made out of pig skin. Is that what that is? Phillip?
Some kind of skin. Pig, hog, cattle, something. Looks like another bedroom. Notice that fireplace sticks through both walls.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times they'd put screen over the bed, especially during the malaria epidemics. Another bedroom over here with a trunk and an armoire. You don't see armoires anymore. Back when there weren't closets built in houses. See the old turtle shell?
Yeah, I seen that.
Antler or limbs for coat racks. There's some more trunks. Kind of hard to see them, it's dark. Stepping out on the back porch. See the old broom? Hey, the corn cobs and corn shucks.
Stand right there.
Old bucket right there. We're gonna see the rest of the farm. Well, first we're gonna step out here and get a pan shot of the house from the back.
What is this, a well?
Yep. Well, that wall for water storage. You can see the wooden gutter runs the length of the house.
Alright, if y'all need anything, holler. I gotta go to Alina or something.
Runs down into this cistern.
I'll be over there.
This would have been where I guess the washing was done.
Couldn't imagine wash clothes like that.
Hand roller.
That'd be old age job.
Yep. There's the pantry.
The chairs. Them right there. Looks like they're about to bloom. Oh, look at the
Milk
old washing
cans.
machine. Did you get a picture of it?
Not yet, I'm gonna film it and then I'll get a picture. The old milk cans in the cart, see that? A washboard. This would have been the pantry. Food processing and putting up.
And that's the washboard right there.
Yep.
That's what my granny used to do right there. I used to love it. Wash her house. You've been in her house, haven't you?
Yep.
In her backyard. They had a shed. And that's what, when you open the door, that's all you seen.
Tracy done found some turkeys.
Hearing?
Yep. They want you to put your finger in there and pet them.
Yeah.
but I'm not sure of that. A wooden barrel. A bathtub right there. Yep, this would have been the kitchen. We can't go in, so we'll have to get it from a couple different views. Well, it looked like a lot of weight on them beams. Long way from microwaves and gas stoves. See if we can get a view from another point. It's another barrel with a screen on the top. Step up and see. Same building, just a different room, different viewpoint. Remember, most of the materials would have been made here on the farm. Tables, chairs, things like that. Oh, I think we can come in on that other side. We're gonna see. Maybe not. Work our way around here. There's a well. Let's see. Nope, you can't get in either. See the iron board, wooden shutters. We got another building right here behind it. Let's see what this is. I'm guessing smokehouse. Look like a simulation of a ham, man. Fire pit. You see the sticks overhead where you could have adjusted them different places to hang stuff. Even smells smoky. Outhouse? Yes, 3 people could go at the time. There's your toilet paper. And there's your odor control. That'd be where you could drag out the poop pots.
Really?
We're gonna start on the actual, I guess, farm part now, but we're gonna get back up here.
Damn.
Imagine being in there using the bathroom, old pair fall on the roof. And how they'd have got water
look,
to
that's how
it.
they got water to it, ain't it?
Yeah, that looks like that one I found in that cemetery. See the trough runs down to the pen. This is where they'd have done all their cooking stuff for cane, scalding hogs.
I don't think you got
Chattanooga.
some new shoes, don't you?
Bad.
I ain't seen somebody go through shoes like you do.
As most of you from the south know, you'd have hooked your horse on the end of it. That would have made it turn around. Feed your cane through it. There'd have been a trough coming out of it to catch the juices.
Uncle Jimmy and them had one. Ooh, I've seen them put hogs in them.
Oh yeah, they'd scald hogs, whatever they needed.
Yeah.
And a lot of these in our area started out, Union ships during the Civil War would drop steel buoys, round buoys, off the coast to mark stuff. And the locals would go out and get them and cut them in half. That's not what these are, but the ones that don't have the lip. And that's what they were, Union services dropping buoys. And they'd go out and get them and cut them and use them for their cooking. Look, they even got all the tools.
Yep.
The ladles, dippers. Pour the juices off into the trough. So cool. A wooden cart. I'm guessing cellar just because of how low it is. See the onions in it? See them old dried onions? Step up here and see what this next building is. See the old stump by us there? Old stone shortening. Check out all them old tools. Trace said this is a store, she thinks. Let's ease through it and see. Old hand drills, rotary type drills, planer, shovels, rakes, handsaw, a wooden sledgehammer. Let's come up in here and see what we see.
Ain't it a store?
I think so. Or just a tool storage or something, I don't know. Desk.
One of my chests.
I bet this is a store, that's the counter. I bet you're right. Merchandise for sale. Prince Albert in a can.
Yeah, 'cause there's a bell.
Maybe I can put a little light in here where you can see a little better. Some of the old products. Tools for sale, saws. Look at them old crosscut saws. I know the lighting's terrible, but I can't do nothing about it. Some hand scythes hanging from the roof.
What is that?
Probably a corn sheller. Dixie. I know Dixie company made some pea shellers and did. I bet it's a corn sheller. Coming out of the store now. Making our way around the building. Another building over there we'll check out in a minute. See a couple of wash pots hanging. What this looks like for the yokes and saddle hardware. In case you heard that, Thelma, one of our chickens at home, we named after the lady that we got to raise them for us.
Yeah, just like Phillip.
Get a little pan around. Gotta go slow. I'm assuming that would just be individual stable pens. We can't get around there. More farm equipment, shellers and different things. Some tack hanging on the wall. A fire extinguisher hidden behind the crook of sack. A wooden barrel. I always loved them wooden barrels. This had been for grinding products into a powder, maybe cornmeal, grit, something like that. Wonder if this would have been part of the corn crib too. Seems like it should have more holes in it though. That might be. I would guess them are probably a barred rock. If I remember right, the Dominators don't have a wattle comb, they have a button comb or a rose comb. I remember right, I've been out to feed business a while. said this is the chicken pen. It had its croaker tracks where they could drop them down, I guess, at night or in cold weather. You can see their little nest boxes and roof poles. That's where they come in and out. We're coming back up on the edge of the visitor center where there are some other structures we're going to check out. Farm implements. Far cry from today's tractors. Period era clothing on some of the workers. A lot of old farming stuff and equipment and parts around the edge of it. John Deere tractor. Wagon. Look at that thing. Let's see if we can get a shot inside of it. A couple more wagon styles over here. Guess this is where they would have stored the wagons and different things of their grinding stone, different equipment. Walk over here and look at the old blacksmith shop. We can't get inside of it. Or can we? Yeah, we can walk around in there, can't we? You see anything that says no? No.
She walked her ass in there.
I wasn't going to. See all the tools.
You want to trespass so bad you can't stand it.
I don't trespass.
You just
Tune
want to
her
go
out.
this.
Y'all know how she is.
Well, when he goes to jail, you YouTubers come get him out because his wife ain't.
And here we go. Set up and ready to pound some iron. Lots of different examples of farming equipment over here.
What's that?
A giant windmill. We back up where we started, where we walked through the house at the visitor center. Now we're going to go over and visit the commissary. Keep off the windmill. For some reason I feel like they're talking directly to me right there.